Welcome back to the Knife Studio.
Here it is.
My name is Kyle Royer and I'm a master bladesmith.
It looks really cool when you wire wheel it.
Making my first ever sword. So let's embark on this epic edged adventure.
I've got the top of the pommel pretty much finished out here. It's at a 600 grit right now, which is probably a little further than it needs to be because it's gonna get gold inlay later and I'll end up having to sand it back down to like 220. The next thing I wanna do is get this radius cleaned up and maybe sand on that a little bit and get it to come to a nice crisp edge right here. Something else that'll happen in the future a little bit later on is this will be turned from round to more of an oval shape, but that'll get ground in later after the lineup pins and the handle shaped and all that. But for now, getting the pommel roughed in there pretty close. This was turned out on the lathe round, but the end of the handle is actually going to be oval. I carried that oval all the way through up into the end of the pommel. Since I made it an oval, that line like goes up and then goes back down and gives it a nice swoopy look since the end is round and then the side is oval. I have the handle oversized, bigger than the fittings, about 100,000ths of an inch or so, and that's because the style of fluting I'm doing requires that the handle material sticks up over the handle fittings just a good amount. I'm doing the type of flutes where instead of them being concave, they're gonna be convex flutes. So they'll be like roundy, bubbly, look like big giant noodles kind of. I really like that type of fluting, so that's what I'm doing on this one. But yeah, I've got this front spacers, the part I'm working on right now. I've got it thinned down on the sides and the top and bottom, and I think I need to start making it an oval, start working on these corners. It's gonna be a little trickier since it's flat on the sides, and then on the top and bottom it's flared out, so rounding it will be kind of tricky. I might have to use like the round wheel to do all that. In fact, I probably will. Yeah, that's what I'll be working on next. I'll go ahead and start putting a finer finish on these front and back spacers. They have a 60 grit finish on them now. I think I'll take them up to 220 or 320 or something on the grinder, and then I can do my final shaping on this ivory and then move on to the guard. I've got the pommel completely shaped, ready to go. The pommel's ready for hand sanding and gold inlay. The front spacer is ready for hand sanding and then gold inlay. And I have the handle shaped to the final size it needs to be, and it's ready for fluting once the layout's done on it. So the only other handle part that needs aggressive shaping is this guard. And right now I'm just putting some layout lines on it to know where the center is and to know where I want the quillions to stop. And then I'm going to draw on here with a Sharpie to just give me a rough guideline of where I need to shape down the sides of the guard. So you can see here I'm going to be taking off a lot of material on here because this guard is massively wide right now. And then it's going to come right to a point right here and then come down to about a 3/16 thick quillion on the ends. So I'm going to start grinding on this thing once I get the layout lines all put on here. guard is shaped. That took a lot of grinding. And also it weighs like about half as much as it weighed earlier. Got rid of almost half the weight on the guard. Got the quillion shaped down to where I want and have like a 320 grit finish on here. Ended up setting my makeshift vertical rest stop thingy, whatever. Ended up setting that up and got it all fine tuned in just like this. Took a little bit to get it square on here, but once it was square, got it all fine tuned in, and now we got nice square, crisp lines on everything. In fact, the lines on this thing are so crisp and sharp, like you can cut with the edges of this. They'll get rounded off a little bit by the time we get done hand sanding and buffing though. So yeah, this guard is like pretty much ready for hand sanding. I think I gotta adjust one of these points a little bit more just to make it come out in the center, but it is really close. So I'm still undecided if I'm gonna hand sand the fittings, hand sand all the fittings a little bit, or if I want to go ahead and start laying out the fluting and start doing the fluting. But I'll end up doing one of those two things here next after I get this guard finished up. Either hand sanding or fluting, so here we go. My workstation's a mess. First I gotta clean this up and get it all back to the way it goes. Dad's been using it. I have an order that's not that orderly, but it's an order that I keep stuffed in right here, my files and sanding sticks / files and random tape. This will go here. We don't use blue tape around here. Dad does. I don't. I like green concrete tape.
I understand you're frustrated. So many unanswered questions. The video left you hanging. You simply need to subscribe so you can get notified of the most recent videos. Thank you for watching.